Hi everyone, just hanging on a couple of secs for you to hop on. Hi Shaz, how you doing? I know, another impromptu. Hi Tanya, how you doing? Hope your shop's doing well. Guys, could you do me the favour of a few shares into the fair sheet places? It's fine, I can't do it on my phone for some reason. Anyway, this is my Monday. I haven't painted since last Monday. I've had lots of family. My son, not lots, my son down. He's still down, and I've had to clear the wreck of my art room behind in order to make the space to do this, because I can't go any longer without painting, getting withdrawals. So I've got a brand new canvas. And we had such a lovely family day out in the garden yesterday, in the swimming pool. Sort of barbecue affair outside all day. I got quite burnt, but it was just so lovely, and the kids all got their musical instruments out, all got the ukes out, and we all had a sing-song, and it was perfect. So it's made me think I want to do a sunny, really sunny, tribally picture. So I've got all my yellows and all my oranges out, and at the moment I'm just going to play with them on this canvas, see what they look like. I have done, hi Donna, I have done some, I looked up some, is it Cocopelli? Can you see that? Is the light? I don't know, I think the light might be terrible. There we are. There's kind of very simple shapes, tribal shapes, which I really like, and I'm hoping I might incorporate that into this. Hi Anna, how you doing? So your football team won, I think. So I love the fact that this is already just looking bright and bold. So we'll just play and see what patterns we can make. I've already decided in my head, I don't always decide, but I've already decided I wanted this to be Sundance, kind of in tribute of my day yesterday. So I'll just do some shapes. Hi Eileen, if you haven't joined me before, this is a bit of an impromptu. I used to do regular lives on a Thursday, but it's gone a bit to pot with family after this COVID thing taking up my room. And I haven't actually done a painting for a week, and that is unheard of. But Shaz, you've got some paint now, I've seen it arrive. So this is what you can do. Just smidging it on any old how. Putting the colours next to each other. I love the way the colours are just blending on the canvas, and I'm not using any white or any black at this stage. So this is my bunch of colours. So I've got do 3 there, an orange and 3 here. I love this yellow. This is called Cad Yellow Deep Hue, and it's got quite an orangey sort of hue to it. I really like this yellow, I've used it a lot. So I've just put a bit of each of those on my palette, and I'm using this spongy thing, my favourite tool, just to mix them. spread them out before I sort of get my shapes on of what I want to do. I haven't put any water on this canvas, and that is something that I do. But I'll probably get a bit more colour on, and then I'll get some water on, so then we can get some good drips out of this circle that seems to be forming. I don't know if that's going to be our sun. It's perhaps a little bit low, but why not? Quite like this. I do some repetitive shapes as well. So I hope you guys got to have the lovely day that we did yesterday out in the sun. Hi Jennifer. Hi Jane. Hi Jana. No, Jana, sorry. I'm doing good. I'm getting art withdrawals because my painting room doubles up as my guest room for my son when he comes home, which isn't that often, so it's cool. It's not cool not to see him, but I get to use it a lot. But at the moment, the sofa is fully out, taking up half the room and his stuff, and hence I haven't done a lot of painting in the last week. Hence I've moaned every night about it. So here we are. So those of you that watched before will know that I start all of my canvases in this way, just a mix match of colours that I'm drawn to on the day. I literally get all my colours and look at them and think which colours are calling to me today, and that will set the mood. And because I have quite a deep sense of contentment after a lovely day yesterday in the sun, that's where I'm at. Hi Deborah. Now you can do this with a brush, or you can use a sponge, or you can use your fingers. Is that the postman? It's a bit late for the postman, isn't it? Thank you, Needle. You can lie down now. Done your job. Right, let's get some of these colours at the top, and then I'm going to get some water. So this is what I often call the wet phase, because I add water. Just wanted to get some main colour on first. So these are just Norman acrylics, and these are quite, I'd say medium, because you can get heavy acrylics which have got more texture, thicker. I quite like these, and they're quite good value for money. I think the ones that you got, Shaz, are the best value that I've seen. If you can put the name of where you got them from, for anyone, that'd be great. I think yours were cheaper than mine. Right, so we made a good start on that. Now what I've also got is this little set of golden acrylic fluids, and they are a different kind of acrylic paint. They are very translucent and thin in difference, so they tend to be what you would put on top rather than underneath. So I'll show you. We'll create some drips, and these ones come in a nozzle. Now I've obviously bought this as a set, but you can buy them individually on Amazon. So sort of choose your colours carefully because they're not cheap. But they're lovely in the later layers to create just layers, but they don't wipe out what's underneath because they are so translucent. So I've got a red and a yellow. So I don't even know if we'll keep these, but it's just to add some pattern to what we're doing, just some interest, like that. And one of the best colours for me, the one that I really love, is this. It's called Nickel Azo Gold, and you can buy this separately because I've bought it separately as a pot without a nozzle. The other ones, they're the same. That's a white. It's the same thing, but it just doesn't come with a nozzle, which is, I don't know if you can buy them individually without a nozzle, but I've bought the copper one originally, and then this came as part of the set, and I'll try it on here, but it just gives this, it looks a little bit brown, but when it rubs in, it goes this sort of gorgeous coppery hue. And I use my fingers to sort of rub it in. I'm just going to put a bit on there for now. Let's see, don't go crazy. Well, let's keep going. Hi Lorraine. Oh, thank you Shaz for doing that art discount. I presume that's online. If you haven't watched me before, I have a YouTube channel with lots of videos on that you can pop over and see me doing all sorts of things. I also have a membership club where we have guests. I've got one coming up this week on Friday. We've got, if you've heard of her, Angie from Colour in the Water is doing a live for us. I can't wait, that's going to be really cool. Her art, well, she does art and furniture, she's right up my street. I'm just using to blend it in, and you probably can't appreciate from the camera how these have got a kind of a shine to them. Now a bit of a glaze look. But I will say, if you haven't got these fluids, you can use the acrylics you've got, Shaz for example, and you can use matte finish, or you can use a medium product, and this will like water it down and make it into like a glaze consistency. So you might not get quite so much of the vibrantness that we've got, but that's definitely before you spend lots of money having a go. But matte finish will work just as well, any kind of like water-based varnish. So we've got, what I'm gonna do is just spray. This is just a normal mister that a very lovely Sharon bought for me as a gift. And I'm going to turn the canvas upside down So we'll get the runs going in the opposite direction. Don't know which way up it will be yet. Just trying to get a general mixed canvas going on, because once we get to the next stage I will be blocking off a lot of this colour with some whites mixed into these colours, so that it will be picking out the shapes of our tribal people. This is my favourite size canvas. This is 60 by 80. This style of painting works well on bigger canvases. It's not impossible to do it on smaller surfaces. It is quite tricky with the sponge, because they're sort of, this is the smallest size that comes in the kit. So obviously on a bit of paper you haven't got as much, but then if you could just use different tools, so you get through more paint this way as well, this size. I like messing around with the different tools just to see what comes out there. I've got a decorating scraper, and that makes very cool patterns, which again is probably quite hard to appreciate on the camera, but it's very cool. And I also used an old credit card to, I like a lot putting it into two colours rather than just plain one, or I just smoosh it around on the because at the moment I don't know what the shapes are, or you know where they're going to be. So what areas will stay and what areas won't. So I just try playing with the canvas, just creating interesting areas. And then I know once it's dry which areas I want to keep, which areas I don't, which ones I think are working. But there's no plan here other than the colour. So I'm just using these different tools to create some interest on that page. Sometimes I think by the time I finish doing this I could just stop there, because it's looking quite good like that. So again, this sponge really good for all sorts of patterns. It does the blending, it does blocks like that, and it does fabulous twirls, which I really like as well. See? Hi Karen, thanks for joining, lovely. Getting with draw rules. Haven't painted for a week. Does anyone else ever get that? I remember even when I was furniture painting, like periods like Christmas used to half kill me. So I'd just be desperate to get back to it. I'd have to suffice with general family conversation and in the back of my head planning some really elaborate next piece. Keep me going. It's already looking like a glorious sunrise. So I've got a lot of red going on in here at the moment. The red's taking over a little bit, so I'm just gonna put out a little bit more yellow on my palette. So I like the red, and it's turning the yellows into a nice orange. Just want to have a bit of contrast. We've all been in our gardens. It's been, you know, a time where we've all done up our houses and sorted our gardens out and like, well, if we're all going to be stuck in, we might as well have nice houses to be in. Not sure mine quite meets that criteria, but we certainly did the garden. These colours, don't they just put you in a good, bright, sunshine mood? They do. I've done a few canvases recently where I've showed you sort of the later on stages. So I thought I'd go back to just showing you the beginning, especially as I've got it out today. And just having some fun with the playing with the colours. Because I don't think this stage is at all rocket science, and it's actually quite pleasurable. And if you stick on your favourite music, which I can't do on Facebook, but stick on your favourite music, full whack, you can have a lot of fun just painting to the beat of the music and dancing around with the curtains shut, obviously. We're going to need some water and some drips. We're nearly full on the canvas, which is cool. Now we can start doing some more pattern work on it. So there wasn't any sort of plan of what colour goes next to what. I've just dipped in, tried to get a fairly even colour range around the canvas so that it looks vaguely balanced, and then if there's areas that don't, that would be where I correct it with the patterns. There's some bits that haven't, you can still see the canvas through it, which I don't want. Look at that. And there's quite a lot of canvas up there as well. Let's get my drips going. Let's do some of this. Yeah. Just breaks it up, doesn't it? Just simple like that. And I don't know if they'll stay or not, but it definitely breaks it up. So I'll do a few more of my credit cards. And I'm using a normal acrylic for this. And let's and then use the credit card in a different way. Scraping. See what that does. And like that. Let's go the other way. Let's just and then sometimes it's a really nice sunset-y pattern there. So if you decide to have a go at this, just keep playing until you feel like you're ready then for your picture to take shape. Now I look up, I make no secret of it, I look up a lot of, I want to say reference pictures, but they're not really like other people's artwork or etc. I look up clip art to find shapes, simple shapes. I've looked up a lot of tribal symbols and shapes that I like to incorporate. I quite like it is me, the tribal style of art. I like it. So for me that works. That might not be something you want to do. You might want to look up flower shapes, for example. But clip art serves as a useful, just an outline of a shape. And then I'll make some little references in a little sketch pad of those shapes, and that will give me a starting point to draw out, paint out those shapes once I've got my background. And so for those of you that, you know, just free it and want to look at it and find something within it, that's absolutely fab too. And I have done that and I enjoy doing that. Sometimes I find it hard to let go and really let the picture speak to me. And if that's you and you need a bit more help with that, don't know where to start, this is the start. But then have a look at some clip art, think up some ideas of just a title. You know, I looked up Sundance clip art, for example, for this because I knew that I wanted to do that. And then I found all the little men that are just so simple and not anatomically correct, but are very in keeping with the kind of figures that I've been doing of late. And I thought that's perfect. So I could stop now. I'm just going to carry on for a bit because I've got some paint left now since I've squirted some more out. So I'm going to use it up. Quite liking and enjoying that canvas already in its own right. And that's good if you can just get all the colours that are really inspiring you onto a canvas like this. It really makes you want to go on to the next stage. See, I think that needs, especially if I'm going to end up doing sunset. I'm going to carry on with my lines that way. I don't know. The point is, it doesn't matter, you can go over it anytime you like. And I regularly do. If I try to shape out and I don't like it or it hasn't come out right, I go just paint over. So you can make your own rules up, but no white, no black at this stage. But obviously we have got lighter yellows and then the darkest red. So I've got some contrasts. And I'm putting some of the lighter colours on top of the red because it really helps pop the red out and it really helps pop the yellow out. So if we've got red, for example, I've got orange here, I can can do the opposite. They help to complement each other and help to bring out, makes you notice both. So with one last shape that I use using a round brush, I'll put it into my paint into more than one colour. So I just roll it in to more than one colour and then do some of that. And again, it's much more fun when you've got a beaty bit of music going on. Great, it's got a nice little pattern. And you can obviously do it in different colours in different areas. But I like the two-tone. And you can do it in different sized brushes as well. Now, doesn't that already look like quite an exciting canvas to get started on? And I haven't actually painted anything, I've just put abstract colours on in all sorts of places. There, I've quite enjoyed that today. Hi Alison. I hope you've enjoyed just seeing the process of starting that off. I'd really like to see you have a go. I shall take a close-up picture of it and put it under the feed so that you can see some of the areas. The camera's in quite a precarious sort of stand-up place. I might be able to bring the canvas to the camera rather than, if you can see some of those patterns that brush has made. But it's all very bright and sunshiny, and then I shall use my tribal shapes to, I shall draw, what I shall do is use a white fluid acrylic to just sketch out the shapes of where I want them when I've let this dry. I have to let this layer dry before I can go on, otherwise it all turns into mud. We don't want mud. So there's some little patchy areas that I can still see the canvas through, but that will be corrected in the next layer. That's fine. So thank you very much for joining, and I shall no doubt take photographs of the progress and let you see how it comes out. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.